topic is gelato. We're taking a deep dive into gelato. We're going to learn about 10 flavors that you might not know what they are if you just read the Italian name of it when you're in Italy and you're at a gelateria. We're going to talk about vocabulary for ordering gelato, tasting, and telling them what you'd like. And we're going to talk about tips for getting the best scoop. So before we dive in, let me just tell you a little bit about me. I'm the founder of Creative Edge Travel, so we focus on the off the bean path areas of Italy. We organize small group trips with just 7 people to the lesser known areas, and we also do custom trips. So it's all about experiencing Italy's far-flung places, fading traditions, and phenomenal nature that you wouldn't normally get to access on a typical trip. So I've been doing these live coffee chats weekly since the pandemic started, and I'm just going to keep going with them because I'm really enjoying it, and I think you guys are too. I really love getting to take some time out of my day to just talk about Italy and share some tips. My passion has always been, since going to Italy for the first time, helping other people experience the places and people and experiences that they wouldn't find otherwise, and that make their trip so much more meaningful. So this is a coffee chat, so I have coffee here, but I wanted to do something a little bit different today since we're talking about gelato. I also brought some makeshift gelato. I'm in the US right now, so I don't have gelato, but I'm gonna make something that you may or may not have heard of, and it's called affogato. So here I've put some ice cream, some chocolate ice cream into this coffee, and it's called affogato. So usually it's with espresso. I just made a strong coffee because I don't have an espresso machine. Let's give it a taste. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay. Had to do it, sorry. Any excuse, right? We're talking about gelato, so I was like, hey, might as well eat some. Okay, so while I'm enjoying my affogato, I'm gonna jump in. But please leave me a comment if you're watching this. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me as we're going along which gelato flavor sounds like one you'd want to try, or what your favorite has been if you've been there already. I'm also on this Facebook Live and still have not been able to figure out how I can see comments. Oh, here we go. Comments. I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't let me see like comments as they're streaming in. Oh, okay. I think I got it now. Yep. So drop me a comment if you're watching this. And even if you're watching the replay, I'm going to come back and respond. So let's dive in after another bite of gelato. Okay, so we're starting off with 10 flavors of gelato that you might not know what they mean when you're just in a gelateria and you're trying to pick your flavor. Oh, I've got Pier Filippo, ciao! He's one of our partners in Sicily. Did some amazing immersive experiences with him. Lindsay's about to eat some ice cream, yeah! Awesome. Love these comments, thank you guys so much. Okay, so we're gonna dive into some flavors here. The first one is mandorla. Mandorla. It means almond, and it's probably especially good in Sicily because they grow, they're known for their almonds and their pistacchi in Italian, pistachios in English. The next flavor is one of my favorites. It's hazelnut, and in Italy it would look like nocciola. I'll put this in the comments afterwards so you can refer back to it because it'll be important for you to visualize what the word actually looks like. A double C in Italian, as it exists in the word nocciola, it sounds like ch. So it looks like nociola in English, but it's pronounced nocciola, and that's hazelnut. The next one is walnut, and it's noci, N-O-C-I. So the C with an I after it's ch. Joanne says she's taking a break from work to join us. Lindsay says hazelnut, definitely had that in Italy. Yes, nocciola, it's one of my favorites. The next flavor is kind of fun. I'm gonna take another bite here before it melts. Such a good idea to bring some gelato to this class. The next flavor is called zuppa inglese. And what that actually means, zuppa means soup, and inglese means English. So it means English soup. And in England, there's a dessert they have, it's called a trifle, and it's basically a mix of all the sweet things they have in their fridge. If you're English, you'll have to enlighten me about the details of this. I've just heard of it. But apparently they'll take all the leftovers of like cakes and candied fruit and like puddings, and they'll just layer them and create a new dessert out of all the leftovers. And so this flavor is called zuppa inglese. So you'll find little bits of cake in it, bits of candied fruit, some sweet wine or some kind of liqueur. Not my favorite, but always one that people are curious about. The next one is this is just going to help you differentiate between all the kind of vanilla flavors, because Italy has a lot of different ones. So the first one is crema, which obviously just means cream. And then there are other types of creams even beyond just regular crema. Each area sometimes has their own special crema flavor. You'll also see a flavor called panna, P-A-N-N-A, panna. And panna means cream. So I think the difference is the regular crema has egg in it to create the like creaminess. And panna uses actual like cream, kind of like the whipping cream the cream you would use to make whipped cream. And then there's also a flavor called fior di latte. Fior di latte. It literally means flower of milk. It's a subtle flavor, like sweet cream, basically. So it's just kind of like, it's used for a base in a lot of things, but sometimes you find it by itself because some people just like a simple flavor to go along with a more complex flavor, so they can really appreciate both. So crema, panna, and fior di latte, they're all going to be basically vanilla or just a basic cream. Stracciatella, this is a popular one. It's one of the classic flavors you'll find in almost every gelateria. So stracciatella, it is chocolate chip. So they'll take fior di latte as a base, and they'll mix in like a swirl of chocolate that hardens when it hits the cold ice cream. So you'll see just like, it'll look like vanilla with like chocolate drizzled on top and basically little chocolate bits throughout, and that's called stracciatella. I really like to take that flavor in combination with a more complex chocolatey flavor. I find if I get two chocolates or like chocolate and caramel, two that are really rich, like sometimes you just want to be what they would say golosa, like over the top. But sometimes I really like to, I'm telling you guys, I have like theories behind my gelato. It's very important. Sometimes I like to have like a more basic flavor with a more complex flavor so that I can enjoy both and they balance each other out. Another one, so for your fruit lovers, they have a flavor called frutti di bosco. Frutti di bosco. It means fruits of the forest. So that's going to be like blackberry, strawberry, cherry, like all the dark fruits and berries, basically. Another one is amarena. Amarena is fior di latte, so sweet cream, with a dark cherry swirl. My mom really loves that one. I've never been a huge cherry fan, but she loves it. And then we've got two more here. The first one is cioccolato fondente. So you might guess that means chocolate, cioccolato. Fondente means dark chocolate. I think of it as like fondant for some reason. That's what the word looks like. So I think of dark chocolate fondant for whatever reason. Chocolate, dark chocolate. And then if you want milk chocolate, it's actually cioccolato di latte. Latte means milk. So when you see chocolate, you'll usually see they don't. It's rare that there's just chocolate. In the U.S., the flavor is usually just chocolate, but in Italy, they have different chocolates. So cioccolato fondente and the cioccolato di latte. Another chocolate flavor is called bacio. Bacio. And bacio actually means kiss. It's also the name of a candy made in Perugia in Umbria, Italy. And this candy is dark chocolate with hazelnut bits in it. It's really good. So this flavor called bacio is after that candy. So you can expect a chocolate with bits of hazelnut in it. Okay, so I'm going to review the names of these flavors. Drop me in the comments which one is your favorite, what you would pick right now in this moment. Joanne says, yes, I like the cream chocolate caramel nut types together and the fruit tart flavors together. Yep, absolutely. Sometimes I see people get like dark chocolate with strawberry or something like that. And I guess to most people that would sound good, but I've never been a fruit and chocolate girl, like chocolate dipped strawberries. People go crazy for them, but I'm like, no, I need them separate. Okay, so here are the flavors again. Mandorla, almond. Nocciola, hazelnut. Noci, walnut. Zuppa inglese, that's that crazy English soup one. Crema, panna, fiori latte, all the basic vanilla flavors. Stracciatella, chocolate chip. Frutti di bosco, fruits of the forest. Amarena, it's fior di latte with a dark cherry swirl. Cioccolato fondente, dark chocolate, and cioccolato di latte, chocolate, milk chocolate. And the last one is bacio, which is going to be chocolate hazelnut. So drop me in the comments what your favorite is. I think right now I would go for a good nocciola, the hazelnut, and stracciatella. Why not? Then I go back for seconds. All right, Lindsay says chocolate chip. Lana says chocolate with hazelnut. Yes. Or Lana. Hi, Lana. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you. Well, I guess I'm not seeing you, but you're seeing me. Okay, cool. So now that you've got your imagination open, you're thinking about gelato, you're excited about it, let's learn how to order it. So, the first thing you need to know is where to find it. The place where you find gelato is called a gelateria. So gelato, gelateria, in Italian accent, gelateria. So you'd look for the gelateria. You'd go in and say, buongiorno, come sta? So it's, hi, good day, how are you? Buongiorno, come sta? And then if you see some flavors that you're curious about but you haven't picked yet and you really want to taste it, Italy is very good about letting you taste flavors. The exception is when you're in a bigger city and there's a long line and like it's just too much madness going on. Then you typically just want to like make it easy for them and tell them what you want. But otherwise, if it's pretty quiet, most places are really open about letting you taste. So you would say, potrei assaggiare. Could I taste? So could I means potrei. Potrei means could I. Assaggiare is to taste. Potrei assaggiare cioccolato, per favore. Could I taste chocolate, please? Potrei assaggiare cookies, please. They have a flavor called cookies, which is one of my favorites. But you always have to say it with the Italian accent, and it makes me laugh. Cookies. Okay, so you ask for a taste, and then you're going to decide what you want. So say you really liked the cookies. You have an option between a cup or a cone. So cone is cono, as pretty easy, cono, C-O-N-O. Cup is coppa or copetta, which really means coppa is just cup, and copetta means little cup, and it's interchangeable, really. So you would say Cono for cone, copa for cup or copetta. And then you need to choose also your size. They have 3 sizes in Italy, small, medium, and large. So small is going to be piccolo, piccolo. Medium is media, medio, media. Grande is large. And so one little thing about Italian that Americans in English, we don't have to worry about the gender of things. If you mess this up, it doesn't matter because they'll understand what you're asking for. But if you want a cone, it's cono. It ends with an O, so it's masculine. So if you want a small cone, you say vorrei un cono piccolo. So piccolo, cono piccolo. Both end with an O. But if you want a cup, copa, it ends with an A, so it's feminine. So you would say vorrei una copa piccola. So copa ending with an A, piccola ending with an A. So don't want to overwhelm you, but just wanted to mention that if you're studying Italian, you'll have to think about the genders. Okay, so another vocabulary word is gusto, gusto. It means flavor, gusto. So someone might ask you in the gelateria, they might ask, qual gusto? Which flavor? Qual gusto? Okay, so the actual sentence you will use to order a small cone would be potrei avere un cono piccolo per favore. Potrei avere un cono piccolo per favore. It means potrei, could I, avere, have, un cono, a cone, piccolo, small, per favore, please. Potrei avere un cono piccolo per favore. All right. And then, so that's just telling them that you want a cone and you want a small one. So then they know what to grab to start making your ice cream. The next thing you would say is which flavors you want. So to say I want, you say voglio. But the nicer way to say it is I would like. And that's vorrei, vorrei. So vorrei nocciola e cioccolato. I'd like hazelnut and chocolate. And then you might ask how much it costs. Quanto costa? Quanto costa? How much does it cost? And then you'd pay and they'd give you your ice cream and you can say grazie mille, buona giornata. Thanks a lot, have a great day. Buona giornata. Okay, so quick recap over that. Gelateria, buongiorno, come sta? Hello, how are you? Potrei assaggiare, could I taste? And then you put the flavor you want to taste. Cono is cone, copa is cup or copetta is cup. Piccola or piccolo is small. Media is medium and grande is large. Gusto is flavor. Potrei avere un cono piccolo per favore. Could I please have a small cone? Vorrei nocciola e cioccolato. I would like hazelnut and chocolate. Quanto costa? How much does it cost? And grazie mille, buona giornata. Thanks so much, have a great day. And you just ordered a gelato in Italian. So give yourselves a high five. I think the best time to learn Italian is right before you're going to take a trip. And before my first trip to Italy, I loved so much studying things around ordering food. Like that was my goal, to be able to go to a restaurant, go to a gelateria, and be able to say like, hello, how are you? I'm from, this city is beautiful, blah, 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 and order in Italian. And it was such a good goal. Like you don't have to learn all of Italian. It's totally overwhelming to try to learn the whole language if you're just going to Italy once every 6 years or however often you go. But you can kind of find a goal of what you want to be able to say. You want to be able to hold a basic conversation. You want to be able to order a gelato. You just want to be able to say hello and good day to people you pass. You can break it down into a small goal of what feels good to you, something you'd like to be able to do, and just master that. You don't have to learn the whole complicated language. Okay, So we've got some people choosing nocciola, and yeah, we've got a lot of chocolate hazelnut people here, after my own heart. Okay, so we're gonna move on to tips for scoring the best scoop, and this is maybe my favorite part because I've eaten a lot of gelato, and maybe too much doesn't exist. Um, so I've kind of made gotten it down to a science, and have picked up a lot of tips here and there for finding the best gelato. Um, so I'm gonna share a few things with you. The first thing is, especially when you're in a touristy city, you're gonna see places that have huge piles of gelato, and it's gonna be colorful, and it's gonna have like the coconut flavor will have a whole half coconut stuck on it, and the cherry flavor will have cherries piled around on it, and the cookies flavor will have cookies stuck into it, and they'll do all this stuff to make it so attractive and look so delicious and amazing. Walk the other way. That's not the real stuff. It's made to attract tourists. It's gonna be over sugared. It's gonna be low quality because the tourists don't know the difference. But I'm teaching you so you will know the difference. So if it's piled high, decorated with fruits and candies, that's not the right thing to look for. The right thing to look for is actually real gelato will be covered in metal containers, so you won't even see it because their gelato is so good they don't need to show it off. And they're keeping it fresh that way so that it's not exposed to the air. So the best places actually have like either round or like rectangular tins that they're keeping them in behind the counter, and it's got the lid on it. And there'll be a little sign for the flavor, but you won't actually see what it looks like. The second tip is to look at the texture. So if it's got ice crystals on it, then it's old. If it's slick and shiny on the surface and seems to have this like, slime's not the right word, but like this gloss, this glaze, that means that they put too much sugar in it. So it's not going to be the right texture and consistency and the right flavor. The next tip is that many places will sell gelato, but you want to go to the places that specialize in gelato. So in Italy, the cafe where you go to get a coffee is called a bar. So lots of bars sell gelato, but they're mainly about coffee, and they have gelato on the side just for convenience for people that are just, they just want a quick gelato, or for the kids or whatever. But you want to go to a place that their whole passion and focus is making amazing gelato. So resist the urge to just pick up a gelato while your friend's having a coffee. Hold off. Go to a place that's an actual gelateria. And you can also look for gelato artigianale, which means artisanal gelato. So that means they're, really practicing it as an art. So yeah, don't go to the bar. Go to the gelateria. Joanna says, wow, great tips. Thanks, Joanne. I'm so happy to share these with you guys. The next tip is to ask a local. A lot of times I think we get afraid to ask local people. Approaching them can be kind of intimidating because you don't know how they're going to react to you. But especially if you learn a bit of Italian, then they'll be more open to you. If you're outside of a city, they'll probably be open to you. Although if you're really in the countryside and you go up to one of the really older people, the nonno, the old grandpa, they can be a little bit standoffish at first because they don't know what to expect from you. So they can be a little bit cold just because they're kind of like guarding themselves. But they'll liven up as soon. They'll be so happy that you asked. And actually, asking the old timers is actually the best thing because they've been around. They've watched these new places pop up, and they know the places that have been there and stayed there and the places they grew up going. So yeah, ask a local. You can ask in English, like, where's the best gelato? Dov'è il gelato più buono? Where's the best gelato in Italian? And a quick bonus tip for you. So this is me like getting it down to a science. All right, so when you order gelato, first of all, you need to know a lot of tourists don't know that you can get more than one flavor in the US. It's pretty much like if you want chocolate, you just get chocolate. You order one flavor. But in Italy, the sizes correspond to the number of scoops you get, and they don't mind scooping a different flavor if you get more than one scoop. So if you get a small, then it's usually just one flavor, although many of them will still like do half and half for you. Um, if you get a medium, that's typically 2 flavors, and a large would be 3 or even 4. So take advantage of that. Mix the flavors, make beautiful combinations, and the bonus tip here is that whichever flavor you want more of, ask for it second. So I know that I want a little bit of vanilla, but I really want that chocolate caramel scoop, right? So I will ask them for the vanilla one first because they put just a little bit of it. And then the second flavor, I'll ask for the chocolate because they finish it off with a bigger scoop. So I hope you enjoyed those little secret tips. I'm also hoping in the future to do a live with a gelato maker so that we can ask him and get tips directly from the person that actually makes gelato. So look forward to that. Definitely check back. We do these coffee chats live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. Please let me know if there are topics you would like to do. I'm happy to cover anything you guys are interested in. So, yeah. So Joanne says, I like the smaller portions and multiple flavors. Yeah, that's a good point, Joanne. The sizes are the portions are different. A lot of times in the U.S., like obviously our ice creams are much bigger. Their gelato is it's denser, it's creamier. You take smaller bites. They serve it with a tiny little spoon so you can take your time and enjoy it. And so because it's more dense and more rich, you don't need as much. So I usually take a small, to be honest, it's because I'm probably planning to have a second one later. But I usually get a small one and it's enough, it's satisfying. But I see tourists going around with like they order the huge one and it's ridiculous. So, I mean, hey, if it's your last day in Italy, go for it. Why not? Try all the flavors in one cup. But yeah, it's typically people will get a small or a medium. The locals will do that, but you do whatever you want. Eat as much as you want. Okay, Lindsay says, this was great. I wish I knew this all before our trip. Thank you, Sierra. Aw, you'll have to go back, Lindsay. There's a lot more gelato to be had. But also, you can apply some of these tips to gelato places that are popping up in the US. And Joanne says, yes, dense, rich flavor, so you don't need as much. Love it. Yeah. And actually, I think I'm not mistaken in saying that gelato, it's actually healthier for you than ice cream. It doesn't have quite as much sugar, doesn't have as much fat. And the reason it's more dense and creamy is because part of the reason is because they don't aerate it. They don't mix it as much, so it doesn't get as much air pockets in it. So yeah, just little tidbits. Okay, I really loved sharing this with you guys. I really loved having an excuse to have some gelato ice cream. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. I will be back next week, and let me know if you have ideas for topics you'd like to cover. I also mentioned approaching locals. If you look on our blog, you will find a blog post about how to connect with locals anywhere you go. And those are some great tips. We actually did a live workshop about that. So you'll find that in our live videos on Facebook as well. So our website is creativeedgetravel.com. And you can go to the blog there and check out some of our upcoming trips. Get in touch if you would like to plan a custom trip, or if you're thinking about joining one of our trips and just want to touch base and let us know what you're looking for and what would be a good fit. I'm always happy to hop on an exploration call. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and eat some ice cream today. Lindsay, that is the best emoji I've ever seen. She just posted a cactus eating an ice cream. That's fantastic. Great way to end this. Okay, guys, this has been a blast for me, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Ciao! Next time, alla prossima!